you have a ghost story?
If my mom was here, she'd be able to
we
tell
saw
you.
you guys. Hi. Yesterday, last night.
Yeah.
You guys, ladies, get around. Yeah. You were with Jane, right?
Yeah, Jane.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, very nice. Did you like the tour? I never got to talk to you after. Was the tour good at Lower Fort Garry? Did you like it?
Oh.
Did you like the tour last night?
Yeah.
It was good?
Yeah, it
Yeah?
was good.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Good. So are you studying here? Yeah. Oh, okay.
And we lived near.
Oh, you live around here? Oh, nice. Okay. What is your names again?
My name is Moeri.
Mori?
Yeah, Moeri.
Mori?
And Minami.
Minami?
Yeah.
I'm Jazz.
Jazz?
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, very cool. It was meant to be, so you have to listen to the podcast now. Interesting.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day. It was nice seeing you again. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's funny. They were on the tour last night. And the lady they were with, older lady, she had amazing stories. She told us stories about her old house and how she renovated. I think she said in the West End, Sherburne. Yeah, yeah. She had, like, honestly, the stories we got, I mean, it's starting to be good here too, but the stories we got last night were really...
I practiced my story with the crew next door. And also...
Doing good. Are you ready?
Almost.
Okay.
I'm going to down this coffee and then I'm coming in. So I went next door and practiced the story.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had to because
Oh, Cass.
I was out drinking late last night. So I need a
feel
coffee
that.
and then you're going to love this
I'm
story.
going to blow our socks off.
It's a personal story too.
Okay.
It's my story.
Yeah. Whatever you're comfortable. Yeah, whatever you're comfortable. And gators, everything all the time.
Ready.
You good to go? Okay, sweet.
Might be a bit shy, so...
That's okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have Cass, and she works at this beautiful location. Cass has some stories. She is kind enough to share as much or as little as she wants.
Thank you.
There you go. Have the floor.
Well, thank you.
And I will ask questions. Because I'm
Yeah.
very inquisitive. She's got amazing questions when we've interviewed people as well.
Oh, ask away.
There we go.
Ask away.
All right.
All right, so I was house sitting out in Lockport about 3 years ago, and as you know, there's a lot of graveyards out that way.
for sure.
And so I had this plan that while I was house sitting, I was going to get some graveyard dirt.
Oh.
For what reason?
Oh, you know, just the witches need a little bit of dirt in their collection, right?
Yeah. Oh,
And-
but I've heard things about that.
Yeah, what have you heard?
It's not good.
Yeah?
Graveyard dirt.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, it's attachments and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry, you go on.
Yeah,
Go
of
for it.
course. So I went out during the daytime. It was actually going to be a full moon, and I went out during the day
Perfect.
to scope out the graveyards to see what I was going to get up to. And so I was at this one graveyard. It's right along the highway. It's this big white church. Actually, it's not big. It's a small little white church just off the road. And I cruised on into the graveyard, and there was a fellow tidying up. So I asked, "Is it okay if I come in and poke around?" And he said, "Absolutely."
Yeah.
And so then I found this perfect grave, and beside this grave there was a child's grave, probably about a 6-year-old
Okay.
child.
Was it an older grave?
It wasn't that old. I would say the 90s.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And there were it was the fall time, and there were a bunch of leaves there,
Yeah.
and there were some teddy bears that had toppled over. So I cleaned up the grave, and I talked to little Rowan. Was this child's name? I don't know if it was.
Okay.
I felt like it was a little boy named Rowan, and so I tied up the grave, and I said, "I'll be back later. I'm going to come back when it's dark out, full moon, and get some graveyard dirt."
Okay. How much did you get?
I brought a little satchel with me, and I packed like a jar, a mason jar, if you will, like a medium-sized mason jar, and a flask of whiskey. So I left the
one
graveyard.
word.
Yeah, yeah, right. And then I went back to the house. I got my gear and waited till it was nighttime. Stole the bike that the person I was house sitting for took
you
the bike.
borrowed.
I borrowed the bike.
Sure.
I would, yeah.
Of course.
And then I rode no lights along the highway. Not the smartest idea.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
the whiskey.
Was it, which highway was that?
It was the
like 9?
one where there's the half moon or the cafe. What's that
Oh,
called?
Henderson. That's Henderson.
Yes, Henderson. Yes, of course.
So that would be. That is 9.
Oh, I know what church that is. Anyway, yes.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
So it was so bright out, of course, and there weren't any cars. It was quite late. And then I came barreling into the graveyard, spirits high, and I went right up to the grave, put the bike down, got the whiskey out, had an offering as well. I had I brought some sweetgrass,
Yep.
and I said, my little incantation, and I should tell you, I was wearing these black Levi's with very deep pockets, and I had in one of my pockets my protection pouch,
Yep.
and it's something
Very
that
good,
I would
yes.
normally. I always ride a bike. I would always I might.
Whether it's a crystal or...
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And so then as I was, talking and collecting the graveyard dirt, I stood up, and my pouch, my little medicine pouch or protection pouch, came flying out, but it didn't fly downward. It flew over to the side, and it was like someone had opened it
Oh, wow.
and took my oldest and most precious gemstone, this big pink gemstone.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe it. And then I had just this feeling that young child had actually pickpocketed me for that gem.
God.
So maybe the offering of the sweetgrass wasn't, it
wanted
wasn't
something
what the kid wanted,
Right.
So
Yeah.
so the kid just pickpocketed me, took the gem, and I took a look around, didn't see it, couldn't, had that feeling that I had been pickpicketted by this
Sure, of
kid.
course, yeah.
And then I went back the next day and just to see if the gemstone I had just, if it was my imagination,
Right.
and it was gone. And so I felt like little Rowan had pickpocketed me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Not cool.
so I haven't been back, but I would like to go, leave a little hot chocolate for
Or a
Rowan.
little toy car or
A
something.
little toy car or
Yeah,
something.
I think that'd be nice.
So,
Wow.
yeah,
Rowan.
yeah.
Not cool.
A bizarre one.
Yeah. And the graveyard dirt, how did that work out for you?
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Like, do you have... Can I...
Yeah.
Are you practicing? Are you Wicca? Like,
Yeah,
what are you...
I dabble a little bit,
Sure.
Yeah.
I think we all do.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
sing happy birthday. It's a spell, like...
Yes.
And pay, nobody would admit to that, right? But, I
Right.
mean, it's a thing.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah, it's just in my little kit, graveyard dirt, check, mugwort, check. But I'm curious to
Battery running low.
hear more about what you said about the,
Sure. I don't think.
yeah.
I don't think the plugs work. Oh, it's got to be turned on.
Oh, darn it.
That's okay. Cool. No, remember I said my battery has at least 2 hours.
Yes.
I was right. So.
That was my fault. I forgot to hit that
No,
switch.
we're good now. Sweet. Okay. But sorry, I got distracted.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, like I have gems, I have crystals, I have, what I love? I have selenite wands. I am so attracted to I have like 5 of them in my office. And if I'm in the right frame of mind, I'm not bragging, this is the true thing. If I'm in the right frame of mind, I can actually hold it and I can feel it vibrating in my hands.
Ow.
And what's unique about that, when I'm saying hands, not just one, and they're about this far apart, I can feel like vibration in both
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah.
So it's really an amazing thing.
Yeah.
I sleep with crystals next to me.
Do you? Yeah. Good.
And if I'm ever applying for a job, I always burn white sage while
nice.
I'm writing the answers.
Good for you. That's good. I'm proud of you. That's good.
Do you change up the gemstones that you have by your bed?
No, but I clean them
Hi there.
regularly.
Right.
Make sure they get refreshed.
Yeah.
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 Put them in moonlight to recharge your crystals. eh?
I
Yes.
usually bury them for in the dirt.
Ooh, I like that.
So
Graveyard
the ground
dirt.
can absorb all the bad stuff and
That's
renew
right.
it.
Yeah.
And then you get a mason jar, like glass, and then you fill it with water and you put it out in moonlight as well, and then you can use that for things.
Well, this eclipse coming out. It's supposed to be
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
supposed to be
Yeah.
very good.
So I have certain things I do as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yep. But they say raw crystals are actually more the thing, right? Because they're more organic. Like the polished stuff is nice. Like, don't get me wrong, but they do say actually, there is actually a fellow on TikTok, and his name is called the Museum of Tarot, and like it's not just tarot, but it's just like everything. He debunks stuff, and he also encourages stuff. And he actually took an ultra. It's like a special camera. Is it a ultraviolet camera? I don't know, whatever it was. And infrared. Thank you. Yeah, I can't find my words today. And not enough coffee.
Yep.
And he showed pictures, and it just makes so much sense. Infrared. He put crystals in front of the infrared, like different kinds. You can see an aura around the crystal energy.
Ooh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah. So it's called Museum of Tarot.
Okay.
If you even Google infrared crystals, you can probably find pictures and videos. So it's just like, if anybody had any doubts before, like, there's your proof. There's your scientific proof. Yeah. So, and what other stories do you have?
Oh, geez, I've got a few, but
Anything here? Any feelings
oh yeah,
here?
Digby. So, yeah, Digby is.
Digby. I love that name.
You know, you get. It does. You know, of course, you did your homework about Digby.
Oh,
You
yeah.
already,
Yeah.
I
Got it all
yeah,
there.
yeah. I often, if I'm in the basement and I'm the only one here, I always hear some prowling around. And it's true, there are apartments upstairs, but
Right.
it just seems like the prowling is happening here. Like he's, cruising the shelves trying to pack his pharmaceuticals or is filling his prescriptions. And sometimes books will appear when you can't find them, and then Digby will pull it from the shelf for you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever found a book? Has anything ever
Sorry,
been
do you want to get by?
where you
I'm just kind of looking.
need it at that time in your life? Like there's something that's
Yeah,
with you,
that-
and then one is pulled, and you're like, okay, this will help me answer this.
That's interesting.
That is really a good question. I think that
Giving Up the Ghost podcast.
I have heard that before.
Have you?
I have listened
Hi.
to that before.
Oh, excellent.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Get your story ready.
Yeah, get your
Do you have a ghost
and
story
come back.
you want to share?
I don't have a story.
Oh,
I just
that's
like
okay.
to listen.
That's
I like to
awesome.
listen.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's funny. My girlfriends who I came here to buy mushrooms for
Right.
were the ones who told me about this podcast.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Very
a good
nice.
coincidence
What is your-
right
what is your
there.
Coincidence.
What is your
Yeah.
name?
Tara.
That's
Tara? Hi,
true.
Tara. Nice to
That's
meet
true.
you. I'm Jazz.
Hi, nice
Hi.
to meet
This
you.
is Teresa.
Hi.
Usually it's Cher, but she can make it out this weekend. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
that's great. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
But back to the book, like I should have given that some thought in those moments. And I'm thinking back
That
to
makes
it.
so much sense.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Can I peek at the socks
Oh,
behind
yeah,
you?
of
Is
course.
that okay? I'm
Sorry, we're kind of blocking the road.
Anyway, I'll pop back over. I should get back to the till there.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, any
we'll
other
pick it up.
stories you think
Yeah.
of, like, certainly come on over and let us know. And yeah, that'd be awesome.
How many stories is too many stories?
Never enough.
Never.
Never
Well,
enough.
thank you.
Thanks, Cass.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Jazz, I'm gonna head out pretty soon.
Oh, you are? Okay. So I want to show you real quickly
Yeah.
what I've compiled for you. So basically, it tells you, like, I know there's apartments upstairs,
Yeah.
right? But you don't own that. Like,
I don't know. I don't own the building.
So, oh, you don't?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay. So it's just like rental stuff
Yeah,
upstairs,
exactly.
eh?
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's the other thing too. Like when you got like hospitals, churches, apartments,
Yeah.
hotels, so much energy of people that have come and gone. So I
Yeah.
mean, it could be Digby.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not.
Could be. Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like,
Yeah.
People probably passed away upstairs, and I couldn't
100%.
find anything out on that.
Yeah.
Like I did look.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, just information on the property. There's some free press articles, mostly about the pharmacist.
Yeah.
Points. Is that how?
Digby Points, I think.
Points?
I think
Is that
it
how it
was.
was
Yeah, I think it was
pronounced? Yeah.
Points.
So, about the bandits, I thought this was kind of cool. They actually sold music in the store, in the pharmacies back then. Hey?
Interesting.
Yeah,
Weird.
like they sold a lot of really interesting things. And they called it come see your local dealer for music. Yeah, so that was kind of interesting. So as you know, it was a trio of bandits. They entered the pharmacy and they shot the owner, the pharmacist. And there's just more detail about, I tried to blow it up as good as I could.
Yeah, this is incredible.
They showed the picture because sensationalism, right?
Sure.
Scene of murder and principle and tragedy. This is
Wow.
big free press.
Did you go to the archives?
I pulled
you,
it
like,
online
live in- oh,
actually.
yeah?
Yeah, it
Excellent.
used to charge me, but right now they don't charge. It's just so weird. It's,
Yeah.
So I'll take advantage of
Yeah,
the
no
charge.
kidding.
So this is the one where I was telling you before, where they say he died in the ambulance, but there's other other descriptions in here where he died at the feet of
Yeah.
his assistant. you know?
Interesting, hey?
Yeah, and it was funny. They're closing up 11 o'clock at night, which is kind of odd. too.
Seems late for anything to put, but yeah.
And then, especially in those days.
Yeah,
you know?
of course. Yeah.
And the trio, they only got what was it? 2 packs of smokes and $24. That's all they all for that, nothing. They actually put together a reward for information on the capture of the bandits as well. And then there's more detail about that. I tried to keep it in chronological order. as
Wow,
best
look
I
at your research.
could.
Holy moly.
This was from a few years ago, and
Yeah,
we're supposed
yeah.
to come in 2020.
Yeah, before the pandemic.
Stupid pandemic.
Yeah, that's right.
And then this one here says enter which believes to have a recent. Oh, this is like there was a description from witnesses, and it might have been that lady that worked here, but it was a Ford Coach sedan. And then, oops, as I crumple this is your copy, by the way.
Thank you.
So, when they did find who it was, I think they were living on Evanson. That's where they traced the car back to. And Eddie Vanderlip admitted to it, but his brother George was never mentioned again, so I'm not sure what happened to him.
Interesting.
The other fellow, he had a really cool gunslinger name. I think it was Cass. Anyway, you can read it.
Yeah, I will
And they followed him because Eddie gave up his name, and they tracked him down, and he had a scuffle with the lieutenant at the time, who then in 1948 was actually, he was like the, I don't want to say, he was a sergeant, and then he progressed through, and he was reflecting on his time of being, of tracking down the assailant.
Wow.
And I guess there was a scuffle. He shot him a few times. The other guy shot the sergeant. He recovered, but the other guy did not. He died. So that's why he wasn't being able to be brought to justice. There were a really nice description in here. He was actually a mason, right?
Oh, okay.
Digby was
Digby?
a mason.
Really?
He was really dedicated to that. He actually came from Ontario, Guelph, but he relocated, and he considered Winnipeg his home.
Yeah.
Like, he loved Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Robbery, and then they charged him with more robbery charges, Eddie. And then in 1931, there was actually another robbery here.
Was there?
At McKnight's Pharmacy.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
when
but-
it was McKnight's. Yeah,
Right.
nobody was injured.
Nobody was harmed in that
Yeah,
one.
that's good.
But they were, I can't remember if it was in the Digby's murder or in this one, because I read so much of this
Yeah,
stuff. I can't remember if they were linked to a string of armed robberies. I think it might have been the boys that got Digby.
I think I read that too. Yeah.
Okay. And just some other. Oh yeah, and here was the sergeant. His brush with death. He describes.
Whoa.
My eyes aren't very good. I'm sorry. But if you get a magnifying, you're
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
young. It's all good.
No,
It's all good. But yeah, like just some of the odd little advertisements for the store, like the pharmacy. It was also known as the Westminster Drugstore.
Yeah.
McKnight's, and they were looking for soda girls and delivery drivers. I just thought those ads were kind of cool.
Maybe I would have been a soda girl in my past life.
Check this out. In 1982, the apartments upstairs were going for $185. So, and then here's
It's not what they are now.
I know. And then the original owner, who I'm sure you know well.
Yeah, I sure do.
Did he just retire?
He retired. Yeah, no, he's retired. He's living his best life.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's all one can ask for.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, the fire. They talk about the fire, and then the resurrection. And then it ends with a little article about you. With
Oh.
your name in there. I
Very
know there's
nice.
lots, but I thought
Very
it'd be
nice.
just a nice way to go full circle on that one.
Well, that's an
Yeah,
incredible
keepsake
amount of
for
work
you.
you've done.
Oh, it's all
Thank you
good, it's
so
all good.
much.
I was
Do you ever
so
pick things up on your cameras?
No, these cameras are new. We just switched them out
okay.
maybe a couple of months ago, and I don't usually monitor them unless
Right, 'cause that'd be a lot
there's-
of footage to go
Yeah,
through.
it's a lot of footage. So unless I'm only monitoring them if there's reason to, right?
course.
But nothing has set off,
Yes,
you know, in
right.
the evening when I get a notification or whatever, like, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And how long have you been owning the store now?
I've owned it for 5 years,
Nice.
like just exactly 5 years, and I worked here for 15 years before
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
so I've been here 20 years.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Labor of love, right?
You know, you don't get into books for the money,
No,
so you certainly
no,
have
for
to
sure.
love it for the books, for the community,
No,
for the
I
neighborhood,
get
right?
that. My mother-in-law actually owned out in Stonewall, the Grand Bazaar. That was my mother-in-law's
Oh,
store.
very cool.
So she had like lots of, not as cool as this store. Like this is the Mecca right here. This is the OG. But she had like, you know, some like the nice stones
Yeah.
and all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I'm always attracted to. Well, I've been coming here since
Since the dawn of time.
late 90s, before my son was born.
Yeah.
Actually, I was researching to do fiction, a native fiction book.
Yeah.
And I had bought books here on shamanism. I bought like English to Ojibwe dictionary. I
Yeah.
bought the Creta. It was like this.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. So I've been coming here and I have other books I couldn't even recall, but
Yeah.
that's where it started. And then
Okay.
I'd come back and horoscope books. And,
Yeah.
You know,
Ah, well,
everything. Because
I
you
like
guys
it.
got it.
Full
like,
circle.
everything. It's amazing.
try to have a little something, you know, for
Yeah,
everybody.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for doing
Thanks,
all
Aynsley.
this.
And hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Yeah,
you know?
let's make it a yearly thing.
Sure. I'd love that. That'd be
Okay.
awesome. Okay.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
I
take
appreciate
care.
that.
Cass is here for anything you need.
Okay, we'll talk to you again. Thank you. Happened here. But yeah, like one of the articles I read, they had the waiting car in the back, and then they shot him, and he tried to fall from, and then he collapsed here. Yeah, right here. You know, but then he died at the feet of his assistant. I can't remember her name. But then the other article then also says he died in the ambulance. So I could see them almost, you know, because like there's so much taboo when people die on property and stuff. I can almost see them saying that. But mind you, it's sensationalism. I can almost see them saying that to dismiss any taboo that he died on premises. You know, when you've got tenants living upstairs and stuff. I'm just speculating. Speculative investigation. And remember to live every day like it is your last.
And never give up the ghost.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good job.